Video live stream.
We're gonna be 4 people. We're gonna need a lot more than these. Like there's like 3 things. Looks like 4 people.
It'd be 6 people. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you like it, baby.
All right. Good people, what's happening?
What's good?
Man,
We up in
another
here.
day
I
in the
made it.
neighborhood, baby, living the dream.
I hear you. Hey,
I
hey, you
appreciate you.
you you making it work. You doing two things at once. That's what's up.
Look, man, I got dedication. I have dedication to my craft. Up.
I
I got my
like it.
partner, D, man. You know me, man. Got to get somewhere. Get somewhere. What's going on? Birthday boy, what's happening?
Man, we about to turn it up, man. You know, thanks to you and your skills, we about to get it going.
Look here, bro. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm trying to make your birthday exciting, bro. Trying to make something memorable. Let's make
That's what's
memories. Let's
up.
make memories.
Yes, sir.
All right, look, I don't know who I'm going to out the way. All right, here we go. Then Father, we come to right now, Lord. I'll make it real short. Then Father, we come to our Lord. Just thank you for this day and not making our bed our cooling post today. Lord, we ask you to touch each and every brain here. Let them give a sound and great perspective with good content and context. Not necessarily demeaning, but let's put things in order as such as you do in our lives every day. Or all this, we ask you to keep keep the plans that you have for our journey that you planned for us when we came out called life. Forgive us all the sins. Forgive us of our sins, those committed knowingly and unknowingly. Continue to striving for the excellence that you are. And we will remember always to give you the honor, the praise, and the glory in everything we do. All the things we ask in your son's name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Church, what's happening? All right, man. So let's go and get started because we live. I made sure we was live. Look at y'all trying to fix your hair. Don't fix your hair now, play. You good. To all our honored guests, thank you. You know, once again, I am double tasking. This is what I do, man. Hey, when you're a builder, this is what you have to do sometimes. So, but I always try to be faithful to the craft and faithful to what I do. I can't ask people to be faithful if I'm not going to be faithful. So, with that being said, thank you again for tuning in to the full 180. If this is your first time, make sure you share. I'm going to move things around in a minute so you can actually click on the QR code with your phone if you can't log into the show. That would get you directly into the show as well. A lot of great things. Oh, sorry. A lot of great things have happened since then in everybody's lives. Miss our very own, about to be Dr. Lil Webby, has gotten an intern. Congratulations, ma'am. She's on her path on her way to graduation. Come on, man. Look, I'm surrounded by all these doctors. You, the one, Dr. B. Look, I'm just gonna be. Don't call me doctor. Just call me. What you call the person that's close to the doctor, but not the really doctor degree. You know what your homegirl is.
A practitioner.
There you go. I'll be the practitioner. How about that? That'd be better. I don't want all that pressure. But now, man, congratulations. I do know it's been a journey for you, so I wanted to say, not only privately but publicly, congratulations. Of course, our very own my man, Mr. Dewan, aka member of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated, Phi Nu Pi. His birthday is July 14th. Happy birthday, big bro.
I appreciate you, my brother. You know, us Newts, we do it big, we celebrate.
Look at her. I know him. What's up? Shout out Draco, Jeff, the whole clique, Eric. I know what's gonna happen this weekend. Friday is gonna be epic.
Yes, sir.
So, man, man, I just want to say, man, I'm very happy that you got a chance to go around the sun 65 more days and celebrate you in the way that you are. You are king in your stuff, right? So happy birthday, brother. I love you, brother. And I hope everything that you wish for, that definitely come true. Of course, we got our own Dr. B is on here. No problem, brother. Dr. B is in the building, of course. And then Jules, JJ Jules is here. I know D is on his way. But look, we're going to jump right into it. I will be on and off the show, but I know they are definitely capable of handling business. If not, I wouldn't even have them here. But what we're talking about, I'm going to show you the topic once I get back to my computer. But today's topic is, man, look, I want my lick back, but I want it back on social media. What am I talking about? We are talking about what's been trending, what you've seen, all because of the superstar himself, Usher, Keke Palmer, in her outfit and her boyfriend. He said, look, you're doing too much. What we doing out here with the ass cheeks on? What we doing? This is what we do. But then before he left, man, you look good in that. I got a couple problems with it, but I'm going to digress. I'll save mine for a later day. I want my people to jump into it. But that's what we're talking about, man. I want my lit back on social media. And then I have pictures of the actual outfit so you can actually see it. So I'll show those too. But we're going to get into the topic, man. I want my lit back. So before we get there, man, look, what was y'all first reaction to what he said? And I'm going to let y'all handle it.
I have a problem with what he said. I have a problem the way he said it. I don't have a problem with what he said. As her man, he can say, babe, you know, you team too much or whatever situation may have you. But what you're not gonna do is publicly shame me on social media. And I'm a whole star. I'm an A-lister. So, and you a what? Okay.
Right, because when they first came out with the relationship and the baby, and everybody's like, "Who is this dude?" She just got some random no-name dude. You know what I'm saying? So she she didn't bash him. She supported him. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear anything negative about him. They posted pictures, his shirt off, and she posing with her, just holding her breast and showing her belly. And I mean, all these other pictures, and that was never an issue. But all of a sudden, that was, because she was up there with Usher. Like,
You're
come on
not
now.
Usher.
Even if it was an issue, because I'm sure she packed her clothes with him standing there, he probably picked it out. Let's be real. He probably picked it out. And so if he had an issue, like you said, it should have been at the house. He should have had said something when she got back, call her on the phone or whatever. But I mean, it's Kiki. He knew who Kiki was before. Kiki has never been a person to hide behind things. She's always been an outgoing. That's who she is. And so if he had an issue with that, that should have been something that was taken care of before she even went to the concert or whatever.
I think what got me is I saw so many men on social media like saying, dude, like that's not the way you handle private business in public. And at the end of the day, I think we're excusing. I mean, time out. That heifer looked real good to have just had a baby. So kudos to her, because my snapback was not like that 15 years ago.
Let me do something so I can get in that outfit in a couple of weeks.
Right. I mean, do a push-up, sit-up, crunch, I don't know, eat water and drink bread. And I mean it just like that until I get that. I'm just saying, that heifer looks real good. But yeah, like, dude, Usher does, if you ever watch any of his concerts, he does that with everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree. I'm with y'all on it. I feel like he should have never said nothing publicly, even if it was like, even if he disagreed and they talked about it, still don't bring it publicly. That ain't for the world to see us argue. It should have been behind closed door. And yeah, she looked great, amazing in her little outfit. I just feel like, it's just something that should never go publicly. Because like if you trying to get at me, that's not the way to do it. That's like you can't come back from it. Like in a sense of it's gonna be out there in the universe forever, ever. So don't do that.
I want to hear
she's handling it very well, because she still, after all this, hasn't backlashed at him on social media. You know what I mean? She hasn't even hardly responded. She's basically focusing on her baby like it didn't even happen. And that says a lot. That says a lot.
So do you think that it was a media scam? Just a media, somewhere to pick up, to up her media?
I think it was on him. I think he wanted to be relevant.
Right, because nobody knew where he came from. He's not a celeb. Like I wanted him to understand, like, you're dating Keke Palmer. You're not dating Keisha from down the street. You are dating Keke Palmer, who, if you go back and look at any of her pictures, she, for the most part, did what she wanted to do as far as her dress. She's very free-spirited. Remember a couple of years ago, she never wanted to discuss her sexuality. Like, you really didn't know which way she really swung until she popped up with a baby. So I don't know. I don't know. Some people were saying that he was jealous because she was dancing with Usher. I don't know.
Where the standard is because she's a mom, or because she's this, or because she's that. I mean, if she felt confident enough to wear it, who is anyone to body shame her in the first place?
Well, so what Tricky was saying, well, does that give her the right to dress like that? So here's my thing with that. If we are in a relationship, I speak for myself, I personally would not dress like that, but that's me. And if my guy felt some type of way about something that I had on, I probably more than likely would be like, okay, but this calls for a discussion or whatever the situation may have you. That's me. And just because she's Keke Palmer, does that mean she should dress like that? But like, who are we to say how she should dress because she's a mom? And if he didn't have a problem with what she had on before she left the house or went on her girls trip or whatever, then are you having a problem because she was dancing with Usher?
I mean, it's tricky, right? Because I think that I agree with you guys in the sense that that's a conversation that needs to be had behind closed doors and not in a public lens, you know. And unfortunately, he took that approach. I don't know why he took that approach. I probably disagree with him taking that approach, but I do understand the sentiment behind. Okay, you're a mother of my child. We just had a kid. Our baby's young, and you are, you know, the visual of this is you're in a man's face looking at him like, you know, you're lusting for this man, and then you have this clothing on. So I think it's probably, if it was her on stage with her girls, this probably wouldn't be an issue. I think it was in Usher's face. And you got to think about it, guys. You know what I mean? Usher do got a reputation for having herpes, right? You this close to this man in his face, you know what I'm saying? He may got some herpes going around on their mouth or whatever. So all I know is that it's a situation in which he needs to understand who he's married to, and she's a celebrity, and celebrities dress very provocative and they dress however they dress. I just think there are factors that in our relationship, we need to figure out if this is cool and how I feel, because we need to consider each other in how we move. He needs to consider her, and when he tweets, she needs to consider him in the way she moves publicly because they're in a relationship together.
Right. I didn't like the fact of him saying you're a mom. As a mom, how are we supposed to dress? We supposed to wear muumuus and look like we from the 1950s? That's
like,
so I just want somebody to tell me what mama's supposed to dress like.
I'm not even taking it as far. I think maybe it's more so, you know, nowadays, if it's on social media, it's permanent, right? And so, you know, I think he looks at it, okay, they have a kid. At some point, your kid is going to see these things. Now, again, she's a celebrity. So, you know, who knows? She's an actress. She may pull a Holly Berry one day, you know, where she in the scene having sex, right? So I do think that he needs to consider her profession and what she does. But I think that the message is, as a parent, we should be able to hold ourselves a certain way in public. I don't even think it's as a mom, as a dad. I think it's just as a parent, you have to be mindful of how you move in public. Your kids are going to be exposed to that one day.
Okay.
I mean, as an actor, her kid is going to be exposed to everything plus some. So it's a whole different level of, you know, public awareness of, you know, how you carry yourself out in the public. Like, that's not something that she is not aware of, you know, because she's been in the spotlight almost her whole life.
Right.
You know, so she's aware of, you know, the impact of it. The concern is, the issue is, you know, how he executed that. Like, what is the expectation of that relationship going forward when you can't handle my lifestyle?
And two, JJ, he also posted a picture of her in a cat suit twerking. So was that okay? So was she not a mama that day? But he posted that picture.
She was twerking and doing all that when she was pregnant too.
Yeah.
But and my thing is this, I see it in a way of being confident. Like, I feel like it's promoting being yourself. I mean, if that's who she is and she's comfortable in her skin and she's comfortable doing what she's doing, it's not really her, I don't want to say it's not her responsibility how people perceive it, but at the same time, it's just like, is she supposed to live up to other people's standards, or is she supposed to be just who she is? And I get, you know, her kid is gonna see it one day and all that, but still, it's, to me, it's just like, you have to make up your own mind and understand what consequences come after it. She knew full well what she was doing, and she was fully prepared. Seems like she may have been caught off guard by her man, but she was fully prepared about the media seeing her possibly be with Usher. You know, I mean, it could have happened. I mean, she it happened, but I know she was full well aware that that was a possibility because she is a celebrity. Somebody's gonna see her, somebody's gonna video her, somebody's gonna share pictures. She knows that. So I feel like she was fully aware, and she was cognizant of the consequence of it. Now the consequences can be good or bad, but she knew something was gonna come out of it. And so again, I personally don't have a problem with her being out there like that, regardless if she's a mother or not. Now, she was 12, 13, 14 years old, that's something different, but she's a grown woman. And so, like I said, I don't see an issue with that. I feel like it's somebody else's problem if they have a problem with it, with what she's doing.
I'm not going to deny that her guy shouldn't have had a problem with what she had on. So I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say that her outfit did not warrant conversation if he was uncomfortable with how she was dressed. My problem is, and will be like, why did you feel the need to blast her on Twitter?
Yeah.
That's what I think that, and I think a lot of people in media was like, why did he feel the need to do that in that platform, and consequently he was the one that got out the backlash.
Yeah.
I think obviously it was an emotional response. I mean, you probably didn't think about it. Too many people jump to social media platforms and process things out loud with the rest of the world watching, right? And so I think that was an unfortunate situation. Now, to her wearing what she wore, yes, obviously body positive imaging is important. And for somebody who's just had a baby to be able to, snap back that way and show people like, hey, you can celebrate yourself. You can celebrate the wrinkles, whatever it is that you need to do. You need to celebrate it. I love that. That's all great. I'm just saying that, yes, she's been a celebrity forever, but she's a new parent. And I think that when you become a new parent and you now in this relationship that may have taken even more steps now because you guys have a kid together, there are levels of consideration that you need to take in regards to communicating. That's why other celebrities tend to date other celebrities, right? Because they understand. So in the same way that he knew who he was dating, she knew he wasn't somebody who was in that spotlight, and there needs to be sometimes extra conversations about this stuff. Now, again, this is probably the time where we just caught her slipping. She probably dresses like that all the time, and it doesn't make the news because she's not in Usher's face or Usher's not in her face, however you want to see it. I just think that there definitely needs to be a level of consideration or communication and consideration that is had in situations where I feel that you're dressing provocative. Now, that we can discuss it, and if you decide to do what you decide to do after, that's fine, but we should definitely discuss it if we're in a relationship. I got to consider you and you got to consider me.
So I have a question. So kind of shifting, but still on social media, how do you all feel about posting your significant other on social media?
I mean, my thing is, if I'm in a good space and a good relationship, why not? I mean, I tend to say that I'm private for the most part. Like, I don't post my kids and things. Like, I don't post everything like I used to, just because it's, crazy people out there. But I mean, I feel like if it's somebody that, you're proud to be with, and why not? I mean, why not?
I think it's good to do it when you're in a relationship, especially a serious relationship, because sometimes people can be in their feelings about not being posted, or not a part of your social presence, or your, just being a private part of your relationship, unless they just like, yeah, I'm a quiet person as well. I think it's important to post. It just shows that you are not, I don't want to say that it shows that you're not afraid or ashamed of who you're with or anything like that. I think that's what they get when you don't post them. So it's good to post them. It makes them feel good. Sometimes it makes them feel like, important in your life. So I think it's important to post, but I mean, serious relationship, not, flings or things.
So I have a very different view from the both of you. My guy and I are not even friends on social media. We have chosen to not post serious or committed relationship. We have just decided not to post. Both of us have just made the decision to not air that part of our lives on social media. And I know people like to do that, and I have done it in the past. But here now, I've just chosen not to, because it's not for the world to know how we define our relationship or what we mean to each other. I think at this point, people have put too much weight on posting on social media. I've seen people post that they with somebody in relationships or serious relationships, and they got a whole nother family somewhere else. So I think we're giving social media way too much. I think we're giving social media way too much weight in regards to determining our status as far as our relationship. And that's true. That is how you get unwanted DMs, which you can get unwanted DMs anyway, or your homegirl or your homeboy questioning what's going on. It's just seemed too much. And I've just chosen to have those close to me, have met him. We've gone and kicked it. We've had fun, and it's not all over social media.
And it's just a matter of preference. I mean, me and my guy, when we first got together, we set a date. We were just like, if we are on the right path and we're serious and we trying to make this happen, we both just gonna post each other. It was a long time where we didn't, until we talked about it. We were just like, oh, we gonna put it on social media or we're not gonna put it on social media. So I mean, it's just whatever your preference is. But I do agree, a lot of people do put too much emphasis on social media and telling all your business and things like that. I don't see, I mean, it'll be different if somebody was in a relationship and say the dude posts the girl, but the girl don't post the dude. And that may be somebody hiding something or whatever, and they're not having a communication issue. If that's what they decide to do, cool. If not, I mean, most people don't do it because they are hiding something. But there are situations where the couple just decide, this is just not what I'm gonna do. Because some people just don't do social media like that. And that's, if you feel like, it's gonna be more of a problem than it is anything else, or it's just not like you, Webby, y'all just chose not to do it. I don't see nothing wrong with that either.
What you got? Sorry, only man on the call.
So I think I agree with Brianne. I think it's preference, right? I think that has to be a mutually agreed to situation as far as like, what are we comfortable with, right? Because I think that exposure can bring hate, right? Exposure can bring any energy that your relationship would get. But I also think that sometimes people like to celebrate their lives. And if you're celebrating everything else about your life, but there's not a single picture with me, right, that can be taken in a different way. I think we spend too much of our relationship on social media, right? Who you like and who you not like and why you like the picture. Man, all that stuff is irrelevant in the grand scheme of relationship. And sometimes those social media connections, now you see who your partner is like and what pictures they like. And so sometimes I understand when partners say we're not friends on social media simply because I don't need to be seeing who liking your pictures or who, and so I can understand. I think it's just preference. I think the hard part about it is, though, that can we both come to a mutual understanding that we both agree to and that works for both of us? Because what if one partner says, I don't want to be on social media, and the other partner says, I have no problem with my relationship being on social media, and then they're posting you and they tagging you and stuff, and you're not liking the post, you're not receiving the tag or anything like that, that could be a problem. So I think it's figuring out how do we really compromise on what works in these situations, because being in a public eye gets public attention.
That part. And before this relationship, I was with someone for 5 years, and he would sometimes post me or whatever situation may have you, but his relationship status remained single the entire time we was together. So
I mean, I think it's just different. I'm married. I've been with my wife, for 17 years. And so, I think early in our relationship, this is Facebook when Instagram and all that wasn't around. I think early in our relationship, we probably didn't post each other now much. But now, if she tags me in something or I tag her, I mean, that's how we do. We may not post our whole lives and stuff on social media just because I think that when people see you on social media, they think they know you. They think they know your son's name or your kid's name or your partner name simply because they've seen you posted on social media. And it's not like that, right? You don't know them. You may know their name because I posted, but you don't know them. So I think there's definitely has to be some level of precaution that you take when posting all your business on social media.
Especially when you have people that, like me, I don't have the time or energy to go through and unfriend people. And so I probably have some exes on there somewhere that's lurking and watching or whatever, and that's fine. It doesn't really matter to me one way or the other, but it does spark I've had some people in the DMs like, oh, I see you moved on. Yes, I have, unfriend, and so it gave me the opportunity to kind of clean up some of those things, but, it does open up, opportunities for people to know too much. So that's like I said earlier, that's why I pull back on posting everything. So every once in a while I'll post some stuff. I really only have social media to keep in contact with some of the business things that I have in the works and to keep in contact with some, school friends and, stuff like that. Because otherwise I keep social media for a full 180, you know what I mean? So it's like, I guess the more time passes for me, social media is just not that serious. And so, I think people just have to understand that it all comes back to having those conversations with your significant other. Like, how much are we going to put on here? What is this, worth to us? If, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be secure in that relationship because things do come up. I know we have discussions like, you're not going to believe who just hit me up. And then we talk about that whole situation. And, it's just like, you just have to be secure in that relationship and understand that it's just social media. It shouldn't have a say so or weight too much on the relationship.
I got a question.
Go ahead, brother. Answer the question. Oh, no, keep that question. Let me say this real quick. So first of all, I popped in. So first of all, the Keke Palmer. She is not no A-lister. She barely just got a body. So this is real. Let's be real. She ain't been that fine. She been a stick for a long time. Now she done had a kid and stuff done got plumped up. She ain't no A-lister. And I don't care if you're an A-lister or not. If we in a relationship, so you tell me if it's okay if I walk in the Usher concert with my meat hitting my thighs hanging out? Is that cool?
No.
You got all these women watching. I don't care if Usher there or not. It don't matter. It ain't okay that you walked outside with your ass cheeks out.
But
it ain't okay.
But the problem,
there should be a level. There should be a level. There should be a certain level in your relationship where there's some consideration. See, that's the thing I be tripping about when people say we an exclusive relationship. Well, if we exclusive, then why the hell you got my ass hanging out? That ain't exclusive. That's exclusively mine.
Totally agree. But we don't know what conversation happened. Like now, if he tatted her on the behind when she walked out the door and said, "Oh, baby, you sure look good," and didn't say anything, then fast forward, she, swinging up and down with Usher. Now you got a problem. So that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Now I totally agree with that. We don't know. He talking backwards. Then you can't say it's cool. Then I say it ain't.
Right, and he was the same one who, like I said, who posted pictures of her in a cat suit twerking on him. So that was okay.
Okay, but that's you twerking on me. So if I got my shirt off with you and we on the beach, I'm with you. See, that's what I always say, Trip, when people talk about we're exclusive relationship. No, we're just exclusively doing each other. If it's very exclusive, then you grown. There's certain things you ain't got to tell me to do, not to do. Now, other stuff we can work out. And I'm in the public eye. I'm not an A-lister working to be there, but I'm in the public eye. And I get I get hit on, flirt with, or as people Brian would say, I flirt with people. It is a show. I ain't taking none of these Walmart. I just let McDonald's chicks home. I'm not.
Okay,
And
so
then
what's the difference with
half of them ain't
Kiki?
got a
What's
pass.
she doing?
Half of them
What's she
ain't
doing
got a
appropriate?
passport. Because if you got, so first of all, if I got a child, or even when I move in public, I'm worried about I am a spitting image, or I am a compliment to my significant other. So what I do is gonna hurt her. What she do is gonna hurt me. Now, it's certain, and I told the one earlier, this is a touchy situation because if a dude tell a chick in a minute, like even my old man and my old man used to tell my mom, my old man didn't like my mama cut her hair. Now that's a whole touchy situation because at the end of the day, it's your head. You can do what you want to do. But if I ask you not to do it, now it's got back and forth. And let's talk about this day, not back in our day. Let's talk about what goes on now. The famous line you hear, boy, you ain't my daddy. I ain't trying to be your daddy. But you should have a level of respect when you're in a real relationship, period. It does not matter. It does not matter what and I agree with Lil Webby. I told her when we talked about it, yeah, he was wrong. You can't talk after both sides of your neck, bro. Period. You can't say it's okay and now she in front of Usher, you feeling some type of way. That's why my first question was when Usher was singing to her, was he rubbing on her like that? From what I see, he wasn't. So it's like, why are you tripping? And you said earlier, Bree, if you secure within your relationship, so this is me, nobody else. Let me talk for me. You date me, I'm not finna be insecure. You know why? Because I set standards in your life. I'm gonna change your whole life. And that's not me being arrogant. That's me being confident. I'm gonna change your whole way of life. So I don't have to do all that. I'm not gonna act secure because if you choose to act that way, then cool. But when I match you with that same energy, don't walk in this house with all that yeah. Because I'm sure gonna point out. You remember when? And it was like Finesse say, it was okay when you do it, but when I do it, it's a problem. And as far as this private, the whole social media thing, man, my life is private. I'm gonna tell you who broke me of that, Bree. Ty. She was private, and her thing was, why is it important for you to post me on Facebook and all that? We together. So does it really matter? Even Method Man says the same thing. He don't post his wife. He said it on national TV. Keep people out your business. Because 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. You either see a dude see how your wife treating you and his wife don't do it. So now he like, damn, see, I want to see what that's like. Or vice versa. Keep people out your business. What I do in my private life is my private life. Now, like Issa Rae, nobody knew Issa Rae was dating until she posted her wedding ring. Now, in my mind, what I get is that she waited until their relationship was very secure before you start posting people. I made that mistake. Posted somebody, relationship wasn't as secure as I thought it was, and got my little heart broke. So, I mean, and I agree with y'all, to each his own, it's the preference. But my private life is my private. I'm already out in the public, and I don't have no problem. And I can't speak for other dudes, but if you with me, I'm gonna tell you how you know with me. Because if you with me, you know where I am. If you not with me, you don't know where I am. It ain't your business to know where I am. I probably don't spend no time with you. Money is not the issue. If you get my time, then I'm with you. Like
I have
with
a
you
question.
for real.
I have
Now,
a
the one
question.
had one first. I butted in.
Okay.
But hold that question. Go ahead, D.
No, go ahead. Ask the question, because you just
No,
you hit us with
Bree
some
was gonna
fire.
ask a question. No. Bree was gonna ask a question, but
Okay.
you had a question. I interrupted you. Go ahead, Bree.
I have a question.
All right.
What was inappropriate between Usher and Kiki?
Oh no, that's what I said. No, it wasn't
No,
nothing
I'm
inappropriate.
asking everybody. Did anybody see
I don't.
anything inappropriate happen that suggested
Mm-mm.
that? Okay. So my other thing is, earlier you said I might flirt a little bit, but that is just a show. Okay, so Usher was putting on a show.
No.
Kiki was putting on a show.
I said Usher puts on a show.
No,
Right.
I'm talking about you. I'm talking about
Okay,
you when
she
you
put on
you DJ. When you DJ, we've told you that you flirt with the women.
because the way when I'm the way I talk to the women in the crowd, like, because at a club or you at a party, it's not really about the dudes, it's about the women. The more women that come, the more dudes that come. So if it's your birthday, I'm gonna hype you up. I'm gonna hype you up, hype your girls up. That's it. But just know when I hit stop, Tricky turns off, Gregory turns on. Gregory's a whole nother beast.
And that's fine. And so the point that I'm making is Usher was putting on a show and Kiki was putting on a show because people had eyes on them. They are celebrities. People know who they are. They were putting on the show. I honestly don't see the problem between the two of them.
Whose show was it? Whose show was it?
It was Usher's show. And so
Okay.
Usher, there was a one time I saw a video of Usher. He was licking on and sucking on a strawberry with a woman. Kiki wasn't doing that. Kiki hugged him and turned around and danced and fangirl for a minute, and then that was part of the show.
But girl didn't have her ass cheeks out too, Bree.
But what the point that I'm trying to make is, was it just because she had her butt cheeks out, or did she have her butt cheeks out and she hugged Usher? That's the point that I'm trying to make. Because, like, again, they said that we don't know the conversations. I'm pretty sure he knew what she was going to wear to this concert.
Webby said that.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
why I
he knew
said
that.
he can't complain. He can't talk out both sides of your neck, bro. I can't say, Bree, your hair look good, and then I'm
Right.
on social media talking, man, she ratchet.
So then that brings back again. He didn't have. If she's okay with having her butt cheeks out, and he's okay with her having her butt cheeks out, then there's no problem. That's them and their relationship. I don't think he had a problem with her having her butt cheeks out until he saw her on the stage with Usher. That's my whole
Possibly.
point. And if your standard for your woman is to not have her butt cheeks out when she goes out, that's between you and your woman. And that's the whole point that I was trying to make with the conversation. Like what I typed in the comments, I never even thought about being anywhere with my butt cheeks out until I got with my man. And he was like, "Ooh, babe, you should wear this thong when we go to Florida." And I'm like, "Boy, no, I got too much body to fit in the thong." But it was okay with him. And I said, "I don't want nobody looking at me." And he was like, "I want them to look because you my woman. I get to
For
go home."
sure.
So
I agree with him. For sure.
I'm a mom and a grandma. You know what I'm saying?
And if your dude say you got that fire, let me tell you something. The pettiest thing I love to do. If we go somewhere, I would send her in first, make sure she fire, like she own it. And then let her turn around and say, "Come on, baby." So I can watch all these dudes face be like, "She with this? Who is this?"
And
Yes,
this
I
dude
love
has
it.
been doing this with Kiki from the beginning. So when everybody found out that Kiki was with him, he's been doing that since they've been together. He has been hyping her up, showing her body everywhere since they've been together, since they had this baby. But now she on the stage with Usher, and now it's a problem.
So my thinking is, go ahead.
I was gonna say, for me, like that point where y'all talking about she was on social media grinding on top of him in her cat suit, that's inappropriate. Like I wouldn't want my kid to see that, right? That's more inappropriate than what was going on at the Usher concert. So, but you promoting that on Facebook, you promoted that on Twitter as inappropriate versus, you're promoting that whole situation with you and her on Twitter, but the whole concert is inappropriate. Like, I don't get it. It's you talking out your neck.
Yep, exactly.
You got people at the beach and at the pool with two pieces on all the time, but twerking, like she said, twerking and grinding all up on your man and stuff, that's sexualized.
Mm-hmm. But I believe even DeJuan's married, and DeJuan, I need you to answer a question. I want you to forget. But DeJuan's married. I know his wife. I know Queen. And my thing is, it's the time and the place for it. So you want to put something on someone like that. Like if it was his birthday and we were somewhere and she did like a little dance for him, she got on clothes. She ain't got her ass cheeks out, so everybody else know that she got a mole on her left cheek. I don't know if that's true. I'm just using it as a visual.
I think
that's what I'm saying.
Though, I think if I'm a kid and I see my parents dancing on each other and flirting with each other, and your mind's like, "Y'all need to stop that," but you excited to see that your parents are connected in that way, right? You may say "ew" or whatever when you're a kid. I think it's different when it's your parents on each other, right? Because in your mind, your
Right.
parents made you. You know what I'm saying? They made you some type of way to where you see your mom in a different situation. Maybe like how Kim K kids may see her one day when they start getting on the internet a little more, right? So I think there are aspects to it, right? I think there's aspects to it. And I think that, one thing, that, everybody knows is like once you become a parent, then things may change, right? Once we get married, then things may change. There's going to be ways in which I want us to move a little different now that we are parents that maybe we haven't really discussed and we probably need to discuss, right? Because if not, I'm holding you to an expectation about how you would conduct yourself that I never communicated to you about. Problem. But I do think that she's a celebrity, right? So he needs to know who he dating. But I still think that, you got to be mindful of how you move if your partner have an issue with it. Some cats don't mind if their woman is butt naked doing, photo shoots or movies or whatever. It's just about understanding and considering how your partner feels about it so that you don't feel controlled if they say something about it.
So interesting you said something, bro. Let me ask you a question. Do you think, because you said, well, when you're married and become a parent, well, let's say we're not married and we're not parents, right? What if we just date? Should we still consider how each person move?
It depends on what we because if we're dating, then that means dating, we ain't locking nothing up. Like dating is you still figuring it out, figuring out what you like. I'm figuring out what I like. So if I'm just dating you and I'm not exclusively dating you, I'm probably dating somebody else. So you're not even a factor in my decision making in that. But if we are in a relationship where we're planning for the future, we making we discussions and we conversations, then I think the consideration starts there. I have to consider those things. Now, again, I'm not saying that Kiki has to not be Kiki as a result of this, because maybe that lifestyle, who she is, may not work for him and vice versa. That's totally fine. And yes, there was nothing sexual about their interaction. I just think that outfit, how they was looking at each other, I always tell people we communicate with our eyes too. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
we do.
We communicate with
Yes,
our
we
eyes,
do.
right? And
With our eyes, our teeth, all
Would
of
it,
it.
would it be
everything.
different? Would it be different if she was doing this in, say, a music video or a movie, or she was doing a sex scene in a movie? Would it be a difference?
So here's the tricky part about that. I still think there's things that you got to consider. Like this is about to be a blockbuster. You busting it wide open in this blockbuster. They may show this on TNT 20 years from now when your kids and their college students around watching movies. I think you have to consider that. Now, people in the spotlight, they do what they do for their money. They get their roles. I'm just saying you still got to consider that when you're a parent.
And like I said earlier, she's fully aware of it being out there. I think she's comfortable with that. I think I would like to think, I don't know Kiki, but I would like to think she has considered those things to discuss when her kid or her children, if she has more in the future, when they get to that point, because just watching her from Akilah and the Bee till now, and listening to some of her conversations and some of her interviews, she does not have she doesn't seem like the type of parent that wants to hold her kids back. She wants them to explore everything about themselves. And so I think she is fully aware of that, and I think she's okay with that.
Yes. She said like she just does not adhere to societal norms at all. So because she made a post, I don't do boyfriend, girlfriends, I'm single till I'm married, which caused a whole nother conversation.
Oh.
Yeah, she did. So some TikTok influencers were saying, at the end of the day, she's single, she's not married, do what you do. But this one particular female TikToker influencer said something that I thought was quite profound. She said, so when your dude is out here messing off, then you shouldn't get mad because y'all not married. So it's like when boyfriend, girlfriend is okay.
I don't think Kiki would care, I'll be honest.
Whatever. And she probably would. She don't care. You can tell that. But see, what that lady just said is my reasoning of why that whole word of we're in an exclusive relationship. And if we're in an exclusive relationship, guess what? You're still dating me. So what's the difference? We're just trying to see how if we can take this further than what it is. Can we take this to forever? Now I'm exclusive dating you. I'm not screwing nobody else. I'm seeing only you. But at the end of the day, we're still dating. So that still does not mean you can't go, that you're not gonna cheat. That's still not gonna mean that you still not free. Because a whole bunch of people tell me they exclusive, but your dude is around the corner smashing your hunger. Why? Because she done hit him in his DMs. And why? Because if you having problems in your relationship, your girl done told your girl hitting your dude in DMs or vice versa. And now it's like, oh, well, she don't do this, she don't do that. Now in my mind, that's a weak-minded dude or whatever, whatnot. Because if you ain't had a conversation with your lady, you cannot go out there and do the fool. I do not agree with that, period. However, nevertheless, what that lady just said, if we're dating and if she has the mindset of I'm still single if I'm not married, this is when I say, when you start wanting to have a real purposeful and intentional relationship, it starts in your mind. The one he's the specialist, so he can tell me if I'm wrong or he can elaborate on that or expound. But in my mind, it starts in your mind. You have to be ready to be deaf to self. What does that mean? That means you cannot continue to have some of the same behaviors that you normally would have. Now I have to take you into consideration. I can't just go out here and do whatever. If we have a kid, I can't just come home and say, hey, I'm gonna go watch the game. But then but then you telling me, hey, will you watch the baby so I can do something? Man, I've been at work all day. Nah, player, that don't work. You can't do that. You have to be able, and we say equal. No, you have to be able to help out with everything that's going on in your home. And if you don't have the mindset before going into a real relationship, and that means if you don't have the security, if you don't have the security of yourself, if you don't know your own worth, if you don't trust yourself, then really you wasting somebody else's time. Because you're telling them you're ready, but you got all the actions to show that you ain't. Because you're still worried about this, is that. I'm not worried about you.
I don't take that statement that deep with being out there, jumping in and out of beds. I honestly feel like when you say you're single until you're married, yes, you're gonna do the characteristics and you're gonna have the mindset of moving towards that if that's what you want. But I mean, you're not, if we take it biblically, you're not one until you have made that covenant with God. And so in her mind, the way that I would take that statement is I'm single until I'm married is that, me as a person, I'm going to do those things and I'm going to make some changes so that my significant other sees the wife characteristics in me.
Mhm.
But it's not, we're not married, we're still not married. And so there are some things that are not sealed. I don't know how to put that until we've actually gone before God and made the covenant to actually become one. And so he could, at any moment, he could decide, or I could decide, hey, this not working for me. It's time to go, because we're not married. We don't have any, investments in this thing anymore. It's easier to walk away when you're not married. But when you're married, you've made the choice, you've made the commitment, you've aligned your mindset, you've aligned everything with God to make that step and say, hey, I'm going to be with this person and make this work. I'm going to stick it out and work out our differences, or, whatever. Because you made that covenant.
That's true with people like me and you, Bree, because we've been through hell and high water and we've actually sat down and did the work on ourselves. And now we are fully vested in what we're trying to do. But but there are married people, married celebrities who say, well, if this don't work out, we'll just get a divorce.
Yep.
Divorce is always the second option.
And that's what's the trend right now in Hollywood.
And that's the problem with not only Hollywood, that's the problem with every relationship. That's one thing I can say about my grandmother and them. They were committed to each other, either underneath the bridge or in a mansion. they were not going to leave. Now I know there are certain variations. You know, the activists were a little weird with
What? You froze.
muted. At
What
the
you
end of
say?
the day, I said
We
the
you froze.
activists little women would tell us that the activists little women would tell us it's different back in the day. But I can say is that in those times, even with I have relatives that if you really knew the story, you see them now, they still together. You made a very mental mindset in the beginning. We're gonna work it. We try to keep this together, then we gotta figure out all this blinking and barking and throwing daggers and all that excess bull. So we need to try to find something else. And you have to, I say that's yourself, you have to get out of yourself. As they told me, as my friend would say, in a relationship is about serving. When you don't serve someone, then you are serving me in a wrong way. And I need to find the door, get your hat, get your book, and dismiss yourself. Go ahead, D.
Nah. I can y'all hear me?
No.
Y'all can hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, okay, my bad. So, I think y'all hitting on so many topics that are important to discuss, and we probably meant to have a part 2 or a continuation of the discussion at some point, because I do think that, again, relationships and what that comment means that we are single. I am single until I'm married. There's a lot of variations to that, and a lot of ways in which that means. You talk to your grandma may say, well, I'm not. What that means is until that man puts a ring on your finger, you don't want to pass up the other man who may be willing to put the ring on your finger, right? So that means you still entertaining and doing all the things you need to do with other men until that situation. As Bree said, you may start to be exclusively doing the things that you need to do to show the potential and the characteristics of a relationship. But then what if you put all that energy into that relationship and it doesn't work out, right? So that comment in itself is tricky unless we both know what that means, right? Unless we both know what I'm single until I'm married means, then I think that becomes a situation where we understand what that means, or if we understand what dating means, or non-exclusive or relationship. All of that stuff involves us sitting down, talking about it, and having an understanding. Because if not, man, there could be so many arguments and so many fights about how people are moving that can cause some serious issues.
I agree.
I agree too. I think that's something that the two people need to discuss, like, what is our purpose and what are we doing? And once we have determined that, then we can move accordingly. If we're just out here dating just a day, casually doing this, doing that, going on, going out to eat, chilling, whatever, that's what we're doing. But if we're saying we're trying to be purposeful and intentional, and that we're trying to move towards hopefully marriage, then I'm not sure on why we're not characteristically showing the other person that, I can move as a wife, or that they can move as a potential husband.
True. I mean, because my guy came to me, he was just like, look, I'm looking for a wife. And if that's not what you want, basically, we don't even have to have any more conversations. And I had to decide, okay, do I want to just date this guy and just see where it goes? Or am I, gonna be in alignment of what he's looking for? Am I ready to have a husband? So, I mean, people just have to be upfront. What is it that you want? If you just, oh, we're gonna see where it goes, cool. I'm gonna let you know that you're not gonna be the only person that I'm dating. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Say that.
Yeah, I agree. Before I got married, that was the rule that I had when we were dating, was like, they ain't no boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, you either gonna marry me or you're not. Otherwise, I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing. When you're ready, let me know. And he made it happen. So I just didn't want to waste time in a relationship, in a committed relationship, when I feel like in marriage, you got to go through the same process. You still got to learn your person. You still got to grow and learn through that. And the question is, do you really want me, or am I just a space holder for you?
Right.
Actions have to follow that up. You can't just say, I'm looking for a husband, or I'm looking for a wife, and your actions don't follow that up.
Well, it's patterns over potential, right? So what patterns are you showing me, or what behaviors are you showing me that shows me that you want to court me in that type of way, right? Because I still think that when you never know what you're gonna get, right? You can meet somebody and he's Prince Charming, and then the day y'all get married, then you get the ugly frog, right? So I think it's really about having an understanding of what you are and what you're looking for, and communicating that and making sure the communication is constant in order to get into better situations. Because unfairly, ladies, you guys tend to get the short end of the stick in these situations, right? Men don't have the same horror dating experiences that women have, right? Because women of a certain age, they're going to struggle in finding that man who is just as successful as they are, who is just as educated as they are in our community. And so I think it's always for women to be clear. I love what you guys said about like, hey, until you let me know what your intentions are, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm moving. Because what it keeps from you giving a stranger your best. And when I mean a stranger your best, somebody who you're gonna give your best, you're gonna invest into him, you're gonna help him with his career, his business ideas, you're gonna make sure he know how to clean up right, he's gonna know how to do everything right, and he's gonna take those same skills and go marry somebody else because there was no real conversation on your end about what you was doing. You was doing all the right things to get the man instead of letting them know, like, look, if you're not moving the right way, I'm gonna be moving and looking somewhere else, right? So he just wasted your good years. I don't want to see y'all good years get wasted.
I can't disagree with that. So I don't know. You just got to get out here and talk. And I think people need to be more honest in what it is that they want to do. And I've had this conversation before, like when you meet guys, and I don't know why they shy away from it. I guess because of rejection. I'm not quite sure. I'm not a dude. If they just say, hey, I just want to, do that, then say that. Because you don't know what that lady may say. She might be in agreement with you. And I think where men have messed up is that they knew going in that they just wanted to play reindeer games, but made this woman, y'all know what reindeer games is the warm up in the final finale, and then the reindeer games begins. And they wooed this woman, told them that they loved them and all this other stuff, and all the while they just wanted to do that. That's not okay. Just leave with that. And the right woman, I promise you, is going to answer you. You'd be like, okay, let's get it on, and then I'm done with you. But I digress.
There was a question in there. DJ Tricky said, but when I do let you know, do I get your best?
You should.
When you let you know, when I guess he's saying when a man lets us know what he wants, do we give our best at that point?
Depends on how old she is.
That's funny.
I just have to throw that out there.
On that
Oh,
note,
really? How old she is?
I think,
man.
on that note, I think
You froze.
JJ froze. Well, while we wait so we don't have dry air, I guess the reason I made that comment is because I think that the older you get, the more you have an idea of what it is that you're looking for. And when you're younger, you're in your 20s, you're playing games, you're going out every weekend, you're going to the club, you're getting a whole lot of attention. But as you get older, you start being in spaces where you're getting as much attention, but you start to spend more time with yourself. And the more time you spend with yourself, the more you realize what it is you're looking for and what you're not looking for. So I think if you're older and you've been through some things, you've been through some relationships that didn't work out, when that man comes to you and that man comes to you with intentions and you see that man as an option in that way, yeah, it's going to be received well. But I think if you're younger, you can have the right man standing in front of you, everything together. A lot of times they will take advantage of that. Oh, well, he want me stuff too. I got time to play some games, because I got these other fools over here. I'm trying to see what they talking about. But I think when a person is older, that opportunity presents itself, they tend to receive it well.
In theory. Because I've ran across some older men. I'm 40 years old. We talking about 45 towards 50 years old, still trying to play, and you real confused. Like, huh?
That's why I
So,
said the woman. That's why I said how old the woman is. The man will play games until they 75 if you let them. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the woman in that situation. At some point, a woman is ready to settle down. Women value consistency and predictability. So if they know who they with and who they can be with, and they know the expectations, that curbs anxiety. So that allows them to be in comfortable situations. Comfort is everything, right? Men value freedom, right? And if they can have their cake and eat it too, and eat 4 cakes, 5 cakes, and 6 cakes, because all they got to do is tell you something sweet in your ear, they will eat all the cakes they can eat at once.
And I'm not eating the cake because I got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, so it don't work for me. Look, man, it's about that time. Hey, we're gonna have a part 2 of this next Monday, right here live on the 418. Before we get out of here, man, y'all give them y'all last thoughts. 2 minutes. Now, don't do like the lady did at the funeral. We said 2 minutes. She done sung the whole Amazing Grace, all 3 stanzas. They forgot the last. Please, just 2 minutes, too. Come on, Joe.
I would say just make sure that you on the same page with the person that you trying to be in a relationship with. Have a conversation. What is our purpose? And be clear, be grown, and I promise you'll be in a better place.
Yeah. And for me, I'm just gonna say that don't air your dirty laundry if you want it to work.
Be authentic in what you want. Don't just, say this what it is, just to appease the other person. Be upfront and honest. And then, of course, what Bree said, let's get some understanding and some comprehension as to what we're doing.
I'll go with the 3 C's, right? Communication, consideration, and compromise. Let's talk about it. Let's consider each other in discussion, and then let's figure out how we walk away from the situation, both feeling good about it. And if you can do those, then you won't see many of these situations happen publicly.
Now, all I'm gonna say is learn how to keep people out your business. Like, your business is your business. Work things out with your person. Y'all don't want to talk for one day, cool, but don't let that fester. Work it out if you really want it. If you don't want it, stop going dagging, stop acting, putting on a show. You know what I'm saying? Just leave the door open like the song I'm playing. Leave the door open. I'm on my way home, girl. I'm on the way home. Man, other than man, Big D, I will see you Friday, man. Once again, happy birthday to you. We gonna make it epic for my boy. Lil Webby again. Congratulations to your newfound career on the way. Dr. B, I appreciate you always. Tell the kiddo and say
Thank
what's
you.
up. And Jules, you are a piece of Jules, girl. You are a piece of Jules, but you still that big boy. Nah, I don't want to call her masculine no more. I want to call her, she doesn't always work in her feminine way. Is that better, Jules? Is that better? See, I would get mad when I call her masculine. Other than that, man, I live by 2 months, respect and figuring out the others in the same place. It's why you're on this side, get to the other side. Always remember to love, live, and laugh. Think big, believe in God because He believes in you. Until next Monday, 7:30 is start time. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be live and local right here on the 418. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all, man.